Life here at Akoka, a suburb of Lagos, southern Nigeria, looks very normal to a visitor, but not for residents who have lived in this vicinity for years. In August 2017, they began to notice a significant change in their water. It now had strong smell of petrol.
We found out that even more people are affected. My neighbor who lives a house away is a 79-year-old woman. She's been ill. Her daughter came to take care of her all the way from Benue State. We found out that there's fuel in their water. They went to the Total filling station about a month or a month and a half ago, and they were turned back. They were told that Total wasn't responsible. So they've been exposed to those contaminants over and over and over again for the longest time. Their neighbor who lives, their tenant who lives downstairs, says that they use it for everything, including cooking. Now, this is extremely dangerous because the potential health hazard is cancer because of the high exposure to benzene. Also, there are heavy metals in petrol, which means renal failure. We've been trying to get Total to do the right thing. So far, they haven't spoken to us. So far, they don't want to do anything by us. And they are continually, as I speak to you, poisoning my neighborhood. This is why we're speaking out.
So do you think they've shown responsibility so far?
Not in any way, shape or form at all. There are certain things that need to be done, especially since Total is a multinational. They know what the standards are and they haven't done anything at all. I'll give you an example. They were supposed to self-report within 24 hours to the federal government, to DPR, the Department of Petroleum Resources, the Federal Ministry of Environment, as well as the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSRA. They didn't contact any of those people. These bodies got to hear because my lawyer wrote to them. So they haven't shown even that level of responsibility where they would self-report an accident or an incident that has occurred in their facility. You know, the government needs to show us that they are on our side, you know, and they are here for us. Unfortunately, there's been a failure of government here and not at the federal level because they didn't get to know on time. But Total involved a government body. And as far as I know, the government body hasn't done anything. They've written in the one letter to me that that the government body has certified that they have done what they are supposed to do, but they haven't been able to come up with this certification. You know, this certificate. I haven't seen it. You know, and even if you go to that government body now and ask, they won't provide it. Nobody wants to sign, but everybody wants to, you know, kind of say, yes, make claims. Nobody wants to sign the letter because it has to be signed by somebody, and so far there's no letter. What it is that, so typically Nigerians, we tend to focus on what we're focusing on. There are just so many problems in the country with electricity and, you know, security and all of that, that one doesn't really focus on the things that they think don't concern them. For instance, with this matter now, it's an environmental issue, and people don't realize just how much it affects them. They think, the Lord will do it for us, He will save us, which is what I got from some of my neighbors. But by the time I started speaking to them, and they came to realize what the stakes are, they are now interested and they are involved as well. It will be interesting to see what their EIA is. This has always been a residential area, so the fact that they are planted here amongst us is just, it's not something that should be done. So I decided I'm not going to be trespassing on their property. They used to come and trespass on mine, and I have made a case to say to them, please stop. I've complained about that and asked them not to trespass. So I'm going to pay them the same courtesy that I am demanding of them.
Well, how do they trespass on your property?
Oh, they come in all the time. They are constantly coming in. Sometimes the dealer says that he's bringing officials from La Cepa in. He doesn't do that from outside. Whenever he calls me, I'm to come downstairs into the compound where he's already standing and talking to them. At one point, I saw him taking samples from a well in the compound. These are things that he should notify tenants about before he comes in. They tried to dig a borehole in my compound, but I was against that. As you know, I'm a safety professional, and I asked them to please give me a certificate stating that the water that they wanted to dig a borehole for was now clean. They never came up with the certificate, and luckily we had a meeting with DPR. The first meeting we had with DPR was about a week ago, and I complained at the meeting. DPR told them to stay action and not to dig the borehole until they can provide me with notification that they are coming into the compound to dig, and also with a certificate that the water has been tested and is clear, because you should dig an exploratory hole first of all, which they didn't do. I came back from the DPR meeting and they had moved all their equipment. I thought they had gone. It wasn't until, the meeting was on Tuesday, it wasn't until Saturday that I came out here and I saw that they were digging a hole for my neighbors, a borehole for my neighbors who don't know any better. You can see this is their own tank. Total gives them water in this tank for everybody that lives inside this place. I don't know how many people there are, but there are a lot. Total provides water for, they claim that there are 9 affected residences. So they provide water to those residences. I have to state that this is not potable water. This is utility water, so we only use it to wash our clothes and mop our floors. I tried to use it to wash my face and I came out in bumps. So the purity of this water is in question. The water is also not adequate. I could only take a shower this morning at 10:20 because they didn't bring water until 10:12. And we haven't had water all week, pretty much.
So you're spending money now to buy water?
Oh yes, the cost of maintaining my home has just gone up astronomically because I must use potable water, drinking water to wash fruits, to do everything, to cook. So I load a 20-liter bottle on, and within a few hours it's finished, and I have to buy more.
That's the instruction they gave us.
That what?
Anybody that wants to interview, they should go to the head office.
The head office.
Come and meet them at the head office.
You want to call somebody for us?
No, I just want to check generator.
So you won't talk to us? You cannot answer any questions.
The issue is that just go to the
head office.
They will give you the full details.
The head office.
But I understand, we might go to the head office, but just to get your immediate reaction.
Manager is not.
Can I call her? Do you have the person's number? Can I call the manager? I can call the manager. And why can't I call the manager?
Go to the head office. You get to the state of this where you want to know.
Thank you. So nobody here has agreed to speak to us. We've waited for over 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes, and they're not speaking to us. They're asking us to go to the head office, and that's a long process, but we'll see how this plays out. They don't want to talk about the situation. They don't want to talk about the oil pollution that the residents of this environment have accused the company of. They don't want to talk about it.
For a country like Nigeria, where access to potable water has remained a luxury for decades, water vendors usually make a fortune off their trade. But with the aquifer seriously endangered, both private and commercial taps here seem no more than an extra piece of feeding.
We told them on Tuesday last week we went to a meeting.
So let's try to find out how bad it is here. You can smell it. It smells strongly of petrol. And I hear people don't have an option. They use this water as it is. In Lagos, somewhere in Yaba.
I came to visit my sister who is sick for a while now, and they now reported to me that their well is being polluted with total petrol, and so they can't use the water anymore. And she's been using this water to care for herself because she's retired. She's been making money from here to take care of herself. And then since the water is polluted now, she can't use it again. We can't use it for anything. Even the malams, they went away. They cannot fetch the water anymore. So I know the problem is from the nearby filling station.
We started to smell the petrol inside our water. So, but by now, like early this month, it was so serious that once you use it to wash plates, you'll be seeing it dripping as if you use oil to wash your plates. Right now, if you open our bathroom water, the thing will be as if you are in the fuel station. It will be coming up. So our sister helped us to, even I went to them myself, to the total station. They said, no, it's not from here, it's not from here. Okay, let's continue to see until our neighbor came and see you people that these people are being affected and our mother is sick. We don't know, maybe it's the effect of that petrol that she have been consuming. Or I don't live here. I came from Benue. I and my husband were on mission in Benue State. I came just to take care of her. So we don't know, because even when you use it to bath, it will be as if I don't know how it's doing in my body. They came last week, Saturday, that total people, that they will be bringing tank to be fetching water for Mama for use, for bathing and all these things. But since then, I have not seen any tank. And we are using pure water to cook, to wash anything. We want to cook rice, we want to cook stew, everything is pure water. Then we told them that Saturday we have spent a lot. We have water in our borehole, but it has been contaminated. We can't use it. We have spent a lot with taking care of Mama to buy pure water. Go, come up and see. We are loaded the house with pure water.
When this incident occurred, it became clear to us that we are now endangered in this street, health-wise, okay? Because constituents of petrol mixing with water in the underground storage tanks and the boreholes, now they are very damaging substances in the body. You have substances in petrol that can cause cancer, substances in petrol that can cause organ failure, you have substances in petrol that can cause congenital malformations in children that are born in this street. So these are very dangerous materials, lead, benzene and the rest of them. The other substances are carcinogenic, and the danger is that these cancers may take some time in showing up, and then people may have even left the neighborhood without realizing that their exposure while they were here is what is causing the problem. So it's a very dangerous situation we are in, and the authorities must do something about it very urgently.
We spoke to the Akoka filling station manager on phone.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
my name is Ugochi. I'm calling from TVC News. I'm calling regarding the report of oil pollution from your filling station affecting communities in that area. We just wanted to know what you have to say about it. We tried to reach you when we got there. Nobody agreed to talk to us.
Madam, the case is already in court.
The case is in
court. So one of the community, Akoka, has taken the case to court. So it's already in court.
Okay, so we can report that the case is in court now.
That it's in court.
But a member of the Residents Association countered that claim.
Okay, so he says you're in court now.
They're absolutely not in court. I have my lawyer write to him to tell directly, and he has his lawyer write to me, so we are not in court.
Okay, so you're not in court now.
This Eleme community in Nigeria's Niger Delta is no stranger to oil polluting its underground water source. It is a decades-long problem that is yet to enjoy the fortune of a lasting solution.
For 9 years that I sank this borehole, I have not been using the water.
Why?
The water is contaminated. I don't use it for anything.
For
9 good years. I don't use it for anything. I only use it to wash and to flush. It's not good for drinking. If I want to get, you can see the odor now. You can't use it for anything. Even if you use it to wash plates, you need to look for good water to rinse the plates. We used to buy water from neighboring community. These aboki, then they used to push it in trucks. And I buy 300 naira each truck. I buy 4 trucks, which is 1,200 naira every week. But that water I didn't drink, I don't used to drink it too. But some persons that have no way to do, they have to drink this. They drink, they fetch and drink.
People drink this.
They drink this.
I've not even touched it, but once the tap was opened, I could smell it. Really strong smell of crude oil, and it's really terrible. It's so bad. I mean, to the ordinary eye, it looks very clear and clean, but when you smell it, it's terrible, and you can even feel the oil.
They said in this community, men that are impotent because of this water, because everybody cannot afford good water. Many persons that can afford it will buy, but those that cannot afford good water, they don't have any solution for them to drink this water. We just need potable water. They say water is life. Without water, you cannot do anything.
This is an oil community, but you have no water.
No water.
Not from anywhere, not from the government. Is that what you're trying to say?
No water from anywhere. No water from anywhere.
This is a caution sign. Shell sponsored this through element local government some 4 years ago, based on the UNEP report that water in Ogali, the underground water, is contaminated. Even the soil too is contaminated. So we have an open well somewhere there. So they brought this sign here to tell the local people not to make use of that water again, because the water is contaminated. Now Shell, through the River State government too, voted in 700 million naira to give the people of Ogali good water. Politics came in through the River State government. They went to a neighboring community to expand on the existing water scheme there. And they told the people of Ogali that they are going to dedicate a special line to us. I can tell you that for the past 9 months, the so-called public tap, nobody has taken a cup of water from it. We don't know what is going on there. As one of the leaders in the community, I went some time ago, the workers over there said they've not paid them for over 1 year. And that is where we ended up the discussion. We don't need to beg the government to provide water for the people of Ogali. It's just for the government to do the needful. Ogali is an oil producing community. We have 6 oil wells. 6 oil wells on this community. We also have the largest manifold owned by Shell on our land. And their right of way crosses the land of Ogali. So much is going on, but we are not getting anything from the government and also Shell. We are not getting anything. In fact, Shell started the operation in Ogali in 1950 something. 56, 57, till date. Shell cannot come to Ogali to show the people of Ogali that this is what I have done in exchange of what I am getting from your land.
There are so many reasons that can actually cause groundwater pollution, because groundwater pollution is something that has remained prevailing, in our own society, especially when you have human activities and when you have disregard for standards, disregard for safety. You are bound to have groundwater pollution. Especially, you see our boreholes being polluted. You see groundwater, being polluted, due to human activities. Like for instance, what happened in Akoka, that the residents of the area, they open their tap and you see, the water, you have like fuel, in the water. Might be as a result of the fact that probably the petrol station around the area, probably the tank farm is punctured. So if the tank farm, because tank farm naturally is always beneath the ground, so if there is a puncture in the tank farm, so it can affect the petrol or diesel can percolate and affect the groundwater, because groundwater actually has two zones which it actually occupied within the earth crust. You have the aeration zone, you have the phreatic zone. The aeration zone is from the ground surface to on top of the water table. Then you have the phreatic zone from the water table down. So if the tank farm, because most tank farms are always buried within the aeration zone, and most of our wells and our boreholes always get recharged from the aeration zone. So when there is a puncture in the tank farm beneath the ground, and water can percolate through the pore space of the soil, then pollutes the water. Those are one of the reasons why you have groundwater pollution in metropolitan area like this. But what we have in the case of LMA, that's the Niger Delta area, of Port Harcourt. You have a lot of oil exploration and you have a lot of oil exploitation going on. So you have pipelines being buried. All these pipelines they are not always on the surface. They are buried beneath the ground. Some may also be in the aeration zone. Some may even go through the phreatic zone. So if there is also a kind of a crack or a puncture in the pipeline, it might also lead to crude oil or fuel or diesel actually percolating through the water zone, then polluting the aquifers. Then because of the geology of that place, we still have situations where you have hydrocarbon seepage, naturally from the ground, seeping into, mixing with water, with the ground, with groundwater naturally. So then we also have a case of spillage, oil spillage can also, because the aeration does sometimes also get recharged from the river channels, and if this spillage you can also percolate, because water actually percolates. Anything that any form of liquid that actually pours on the ground actually percolates down, So, but if you have continuous spillage over time, it can also percolate through the aeration zone and also, pollute the aquifer.
Oil has kept the world's engine running. It has also been a menace to people and the planet.